you look into the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the camera.
No, me back.
Look at you.
Hello, good evening, and welcome once again to RHR TV1 in the beautiful city of Miramar. I am Dr. Bayne, your host of Views and Expectations, a program that is designed to raise the social consciousness of the community, one family at a time, one individual at a time. We're right now in the middle, I guess, of Black History Month, and of course, every time I think of the things that we have to celebrate as a people, I also want to remind us that there are many things that we need to take care of for ourselves. We have to be enabled to help ourselves. We have to do some self-empowerment. And one of the things that we tend to lack in the community or lack access to is information, or not be aware that resources are here. So this evening in studio with me, I have a beautiful guest that I met at the African American Museum, Heritage Museum on Sistrunk in Montreal, in Fort Lauderdale. And I've gone right back to Canada, but that's all right. This is live TV, anything can happen. Yes, in Fort Lauderdale. And I met Wanda Whitfield at the library. And Wanda, this evening I want to welcome you.
Thank you so
to
much.
Views and Expectations. It's my pleasure to have you in studio.
Thank you.
And Wanda has such a beautiful smile. It's the same smile that attracted me. I mean, as a matter of fact, I was not even looking at her face. I was just hearing her voice. And because of what she was engaged in doing, we got to talking. And so as a result of that, she's on the set of RHR TV this evening. Now, Wanda Whitfield, such a beautiful name. It has such a beautiful ring to it.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Yeah, but it's true. You know, we got to be real. We got to be true. Wanda is a people person. Wanda is a lover of people. Wanda is one who does not hoard information for herself. And, you know, whatever she knows, she wants everybody else to know. Even things that may not be something that she could benefit from, she is seeking the person that can benefit from it. So, Wanda, I just want you to share with the television viewers, just share with them what is the motivation, what it is that drives you to do what you're doing, because you do it as if you're getting paid. So just tell us what it is you do. You facilitate so many things. Tell us what it is you do.
I am a volunteer, and I like keep people informed of information and services that can make their lives a little bit easier. And I love people. I enjoy talking to people. I'm a talker.
Well, great. It makes my job easy this evening, yeah?
And I just, when I came back home in 2009, I attended a health fair, and there was very few people there. And when I returned to my community, they informed me that they wasn't aware that the health fair was taking place that day. So I knew that it was lack of communication.
And the health fair was in the community?
Yes, it was. It was only several blocks away from where we lived. And they didn't know about it. And several people, which they had been informed, they said they could have used that service, but they didn't know because they had the mammogram van out there. They were testing for HIV. They were doing glucose testing, and also high blood pressure. And also the kids, they could have received different type of literature made especially for them, and they just were not informed.
Now, you said when you came back home, so how long were you away and where did you go? How could you leave this beautiful state of Florida? Where did you go?
Well, I went away to school, and I was living in Houston, Texas, and the economy got bad. So I had an invite to move to Atlanta, Georgia. So I have been away from home for 29 long years.
Oh, and everybody's been moving to Georgia. Everybody say, come to Georgia, get a house, get a job, find a job to get the house.
Yes, yes.
It was quite a movement, an exodus to Georgia.
It was a movement. At that time I was young, 25 years old, And it was exciting, and it was the big city, and I had a wonderful time. But it was hard. It was a struggle. Paying rent and learning a new city and trying to get around. It was a challenge.
But so you stayed away, but the challenge that you took on for 29 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Which means you conquered. If you took it on for 29 years, that tells me that you conquered.
I was determined to make it. It wasn't easy, but I met some beautiful people while living there. One of my friends, and she's a Christian, was Clarissa. And also I became very close to my cousin Yvonne. She's like a big sister, surrogate mother, a mentor, all in one.
Oh, hard to find.
Yes, yes, yes.
Not obvious.
And she made things a lot more easier for me because we were constantly talking, and I used her wisdom to better myself.
Now, while you were in Georgia, the services that you came back and found at that health fair, those were services that were readily available in Georgia.
Well, the health fair was already planned, and I just happened to be at the African American Library. I spent a lot of time there, and I knew that this was a service that I needed because I am diabetic, and I was recently diagnosed, and I also suffer from high blood pressure. So I was going to use the service to my advantage because my new job had not started. It was 3 weeks after I got here, it started, and it only lasts 3 months. And then they wanted me to move to Ohio and with a promotion. And my mother said, no. You've been gone 29 years and now you're talking about moving again. So I stayed and I was unemployed. I was bored, and I said, look, use this time to do something positive.
Right.
So I started volunteering. And since communication was not good in our community, I started putting little information packs together and sharing that information with some of the schools in my area, also some of the daycare centers, and also some of the churches in my area. I wanted them to know what was going on, and hopefully those services that were listed, some were private and some were county services, they needed to know that these services were available for them.
Now, one of the things that I have observed over the years working, within community organizations and that third sector of the society and of the economy, that is the not-for-profit organizations, is that the people that need the information most seem to be the less likely to really seek it out, to make an effort to get it. And I guess right now what you're doing, and I mean it's a good thing, because they need to be enabled, especially in this area. I mean, I'm not one for enabling people in slackness and indulging them in laziness and slothfulness. But certainly this one, I believe that they need to be indulged, because unless they get the information to them, then it's the very information that needs to change them and to change their mindset they're not going to have.
You have to be determined and don't accept no as an answer. A good example was I was in the parking lot at the African American Library about to go inside, and I ran into this lady that I know, and she was telling me that her son was a senior in high school and that he was flunking. And I said, we're getting him a tutor. She says, I've been looking into it, and tutoring stops at 9th grade. And she was told that by his guidance counselor. And I said, that doesn't sound right to me. I said, come on, let's go in this library. We went upstairs to the second floor. I asked one of the employees at the library about getting tutor for this lady's son. He was a senior in high school, and we need a tutor. And she said it was downstairs. So I looked at her, and she looked at me, and the lady gave her all the information that she needed, the man's name and the hours that which tutoring would take place. Right. And so she looked at me and I said, when it comes to your child, never accept no. You have to be aggressive to find the information that you want. And another good source is 211.
Okay, so we're going to hold on to that. Just after we come back from the break, you're going to find out about 211 and that young man that was flunking high school. This is Views and Expectations with Wanda Whitfield in studio. We'll be right back.
RHITV1 to the world!
We're the Youngs and we're from Jamaica. You're watching RHITV, the #1.
RHITV1 to the world!
Wait, honey, you know cook?
Cook, why me for cook?
Because I come from work and hungry. I want something to eat.
So then every day you know eat food when I buy over at Caribbean American restaurant.
Which restaurant that?
Spices Caribbean American restaurant, a brand new restaurant we open at 3990 Southwest 48th Avenue.
You mean the one on Countyline Road and Southwest 40th Avenue across from the car wash?
See, I'm one. Which part you think you get food from every day?
But honey, you trick me. Me think you could have cooked. Just never eat every single day because that's all that street food come from.
Spices Caribbean American Cuisine and Lounge. Opening hours Monday to Friday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Featuring our special daily lunch specials 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday buffet breakfast 9 to 11:30 a.m. and Sunday brunch 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located at 3990 Southwest 40th Avenue, Hollywood, Florida 33023. Number to call 954-961-9752, 954-348-4197, 786-263-8870. ISIS Caribbean American Restaurant, the place where satisfaction is guaranteed.
Wait, honey.
And we are back. This is Views and Expectations. Again, you know, we're right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of Black History Month, and I'm speaking with Wanda Whitfield, a volunteer, a community activist, someone who is active in the community, and really a disseminator of information. And just before the break, we were talking about this number 211, so we're going to share that. And I think so often, though that is shared, people don't they don't take note, whatever it is. But I don't think that we use it just as much. As many times as it might be shared in studio, people still say, you know, oh, they don't know anything about it. So let's try to get some information across to these people and continue the story about this young man.
Yes, I used 211 myself when I was living in the Atlanta area. And they are available 24 hours. They have a counselor sitting at a computer, and it's a referral. And any type of situation you have, just give them a challenge, the opportunity to help you. And a friend of mine was going through chemo. She was diagnosed as having breast cancer, and she needs some assistance. And she lived in Houston, Texas, and I told her, I said, dial 211, tell them what you need, and see if they would be able to assist you. And they were. And they had somebody to come to the house, they prayed, and to her surprise, they bought groceries, and they also gave her, you know, some assistance in helping her with her bills.
Wow.
And that was a blessing. So the lady that I was talking with, she received help from the African American Library. They do have free tutoring for students, and all you have to do is go there, inquire, set a time for the student to come in to be tutored, and they are more than happy to assist them.
So it's free of cost.
It's free of cost.
Free of cost. So provided by the volunteers, by the county.
Yes, by the county.
Okay.
And also they have, I love to tell people that they have free computer classes there. If you need to brush up on your computer, or if you are just a beginner, feel free to call them. And also Tyrone Bryant has a free computer class. That's another library where I go to and get assistance in getting information to put in my packs.
Where is the Tyrone Bryant?
Tyrone Bryant is located on 21st Avenue, right next to Oswald Park, which is a city park.
Okay, so that's a little bit closer to Oakland Park.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes, it is.
Yes, I know that Oswald Park. That was an old haunt for when they had all the grounds there for sports.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So, and I know they were doing some expansion a few years ago with the library. Okay, so at Tyrone Bryant.
Yes, Tyrone Bryant Library
on 21st.
Yes.
Now you get this information. How do you decide where to get this information out to?
Well, the information that I get is something that all my networking resources can use, such as the churches, the daycare center, and also the school. Most of the information that I get is at the African American Library. When you go into, they have a little break room. There is a long desk there.
Countertop.
Long counter there, and it is full of information. Also, when you first walk in the door, to your left, there's a carousel that they have there, and you can get information off of that. And I must say that they are so helpful. One of the employees, Larry, he assists me in getting information, and he runs copies off for me, and then I make those little packs and I start dispersing them amongst the people whom I network with.
Okay, now the thing is, Larry, you said it is, so he helps you to get the information together.
Yes.
Now, you've taken the initiative because you were getting information for yourself, and so you realized that, that this is something that people need. One of the things that I find when you go to places like that and they have the big displays, that some things get buried.
Exactly.
Things get buried under something else, and it's not obvious because, it would probably require 24/7 attention in order to keep things in check so that you can see all that there is. So that's one of the things that I observe, and that's probably really handy that you do that.
Larry and I both are working on that. A good example would be they have a flyer informing parents about the free tutoring for students, and it was sitting in that break room. And I said, but Larry, I said, I saw this flyer at another branch, and they have a little stand in the lobby announcing that they have free tutoring. When you first walk in the library, it hits you. He understood what I was saying. He agreed with what I was saying, and maybe a week later I walked in and there it was. And now they have a nice big screen in the main lobby when you walk into the library. And I also saw that they put that information on the screen now. It flashes at you.
Okay.
And I loved it. I was so excited to know that I had just a small part
in helping to make that happen.
And making it more visible and more noticeable. And I asked him just the other day, has it increased the amount of students? And he said it has.
No, you see, even though you said a little, and this is something that we have to learn, because you said a little part, that it's so minuscule that you can't even see it. But the key is that when we are sharing information, printing, paying for printing and things like that, it's only as good. The dollar spent on printing information and making it available is only as good as the result that you get from it.
Exactly.
And sometimes, you might think, oh, this is a big institution, a well-oiled machine, and they know what they're doing, and they've got this information there, and I guess people will get to it. So, but you weren't afraid to make a suggestion. You weren't afraid to say, I have an idea that I think would work better than this. And this is one of the things, and tell me about how receptive, obviously he did this, how receptive is this person, Larry, in terms of receiving suggestions?
He is a blessing. I had an idea, but the way he received it, and he thanks me for taking the time and making the effort to get this information out to the community. He said, we never had anybody like you. And I would say, well, what do you mean? He said, you really, really want the people to know what's going on, and we thank you. And I thank him because he has an open mind, he's supportive, and he always, at the end of the day, when we get through networking and talking about things we can do to improve, he always say, if there's anything I can do, let me know.
So you think you're helping him, and here it is, he's begging you for him to help you with what you're doing to help him. And this is, you see, and this is what community is all about. Because now that you've taken the initiative, he is there to help you. If you need copies, as you said, he'll get the copies, he'll get the information to you. I won't be surprised if Larry has an idea that he's thinking about, and before he presents it to the powers that be, whoever they might be when they're sitting down having their discussions, that I wouldn't be surprised if his input at meetings and stuff, is not heavily influenced by the things that you might share with him, the things you may ask him about, the things that you may say are needs in the community.
Well, I just thank God that he has an open mind.
Yeah.
Because also I would like people to know that the libraries are now assisting people with resumes.
Okay.
So for those,
So you hear that, folks? Tell them.
they will assist you with your resume. You
Yes.
just go to the desk and you tell them that you need some help, and you bring the information with you, such as the name of the jobs you had in the past, the address, the position, your job description. Bring that information with you, and they will help you put it on the system, and someone will format it for you so that you can present it to a prospective employer.
Now you see, so these are the things we need to know, that you don't have a job, and it's competitive out there, so you've got to have the tools in hand that everybody is using to make sure that they get involved. And this is, so this is a wonderful contribution. It might seem small to you. I didn't see it as small. Remember, I was just listening. I was so blessed, by just hearing you and watching you just work at what you were doing, putting those packages together. You actually even put one in my hand, and actually even, calling, I have a suggestion, this is what I'm thinking of, this is what I think needs to be done. Because one of the problems could be, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Wanda, is that when they don't see people using those services, they most likely could have discontinued it.
That is true. That is true. And we don't want them to discontinue any type of service in our community. We need all the help we can get. So many people are not computer savvy, and they're intimidated by it, and some do not have the money to go take a class. Well, it's there for the asking. It's free, and they have people there to help you put that resume together so that you can be more successful in your job seeking.
Right. As you said that, help is only as good as your knowing that it's there and your willingness to use it. Exactly. Taking the time and putting a little bit of energy into it to use it. Exactly. And as you mentioned about the computers, this is one of the things. People, you retire too early. You retire too early. Some people that are, of a certain age, say that, I'm too old to learn. No, I have a brother that's going to be 80 this year, or 81 this year, and he'll be glad for the 80. So let me say 80. And he is always seeking out, he's really proficient with the computer, always seeking out different things. He's still teaching at the university and things like that. He's still very active. Yes. You see, and it really keeps the brain stimulated. And so we have to remember that if you retire early, your brain cells will die and you go into an Alzheimer's state and, just wither away. You can't retire while you're yet young, and so we have to really tackle this computer. We have to tackle the computer. It is the way of the future. Right now, those of you who are looking, at this program tonight, it's because the computer is here. You see that all of the other satellite television stations and all the various syndicated television stations have the computer component, and they get the viewership because they know that people can go back and look at them. Look at the Olympics that just went. You could hardly see anything live when I was so used to staying up in the middle of the night to watch it when it would be coming from you know, England or some place like that, where the time zones are different. And so you have to get in with the computer. So that's what Wanda is saying to you. You got to make use of the services. Help to get your resumes done. Use the services that are there. Come and take some computer classes. We're going to be getting some more information from Wanda when we come back from the break.
Grace United Learning Center, a ministry of Grace United Community Church. The Learning Center is a privately owned organization providing exceptional child care and educational services to infants and preschool-age children. The center also provides after-school care for children up to age 10. The Learning Center utilizes a combination of structured curriculum instruction, teacher-directed activities, and child-initiated play to promote the physical, social, emotional, and intellectual development of each child. Come experience an environment of exploration, discovery, and exciting challenges. Grace United Learning Center, achieving excellence together. We are located at 911 Northwest 183rd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. Our hours of operation, 6:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday through Fridays. We can be contacted at 305-651-1947 or on the web at www.graceunitedlearning.com. Grace United.
Hi, my name is LaShawn, and I represent America, and I only watch RHR TV. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Edine Davis. I'm a sergeant in the Army, and I represent all Jamaican, and you're watching RHR TV. So stay tuned and keep watching and don't go nowhere.
And we're in studio with Wanda Whitfield, the Walking Information Center. The Walking Information Center. I just talk so that you can smile. You just have such a warm smile. But now tell me about some of the other things that you do, because I know that you're not just concerned about education, you're concerned about health and the welfare of the community.
Exactly. When I returned back home, I went to the African American Library again. They had a little event there, and it was an organization by the name of Gilda's. And I went over to one of the reps, and she told me that it was a cancer support group. And she began to tell me wonderful things that they do there. And they're there for people that are not only people that are battling cancer, but people that have had loved ones to die of cancer.
Because the whole family really goes through it.
Exactly,
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
They even have something for the kids, for both men and women, and they even have a segment for women of color. They're telling us information about breast cancer. They have physicians to come in and talk to us, and sometimes your doctor do not have the time to go over information. Where their physicians come in and they take the time to go over questions. They have slide presentations to go more into detail, because I was amazed as to how far they have come with reconstructing the breast.
Right.
Now that they have all these new techniques and the medication that's available, and it was all because I went to a speaking engagement at Gilda's. So I am a volunteer at Gilda's, and I do put my little Gilda's brochure in my packs.
Right.
And I want the community to know that they're there. The 311 zip code has the highest rate of cancer in the state of Florida.
Now, and let's just park there a little bit. We don't want to forget about Gilda's, but we really want to share that information. People have to begin to believe it.
Exactly.
And we have to, it's the things that we do. So about the mindset change and information, because we contribute to that high percentage.
That's true. It's true. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the community do not talk about it. Years ago, there was a dumpster in our area, and now the repercussion is coming in. Neighbor to neighbor have cancer, and it's very, very bad. And I've had approximately 3 relatives living in that area to die of cancer. And it shouldn't have never happened. But if it does happen to you, there is support there. You can go to Gilda's and just relax. They're in a beautiful old mansion right near Broward General Hospital, and you can just sit there. They have a library. You can go in there and relax, read, get on the computer. You can sit in the beautiful garden that they have there,
Yes.
the Chase Lounge chairs. They offer cooking classes. They have knitting classes. They have yoga. And they have so many different activities.
So it's very therapeutic. Just
Yes.
the very surroundings,
Yes.
the ambience
Yes.
is just very therapeutic.
Yes.
Now, men.
Yes.
Are the men receptive to this information about cancer?
Oh, definitely.
So they believe, they know that they can get breast cancer.
Yes, yes. They're very active. They're telling them, and they do have the literature available to taught to them and show them.
Okay. Now, so that's Gilda's. So there's another source of information, a
Yes.
place to relax, to find out useful information. And one of the things, I want to see if I can use you in studio this evening to try to influence somebody out there to change the way we eat.
Oh, gosh, I have been battling weight ever since I could remember. And now it's caught up with me. I am diabetic. And if I want to live, I'm going to have to lose the weight. They now
We need you to, for totally selfish reasons now, we need you to live, right? The information, we don't want the information to stop.
They have so many things out there. I found out recently they have a free walking program with the city of Fort Lauderdale at their city parks.
Okay.
I know Oswald is the one that I'm registered with.
Yeah.
They give you a book, they give you a chart, they have people to call and monitor you. You do it on your own.
Right.
And the book gives you instructions step by step as to what you're to do.
Right, because the very things that, I mean, they taste good. Oh, but the long lasting effects of it, they taste good. And this is one of the things that I believe that is something. So now I'm challenging you with that, to find a way where the things that you love to eat can be prepared in a different way and still maintain the flavor and things like that, because we contribute to some of the things that, you know, we have, where we have high incidence in our community, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes. You know, and we claim it and we own it. You know, we just say it's my this. I'm taking care of my arthritis. I'm taking care of my diabetes. I'm taking care of my blood sugar. You know, and so we own these things. And so that is something that I would like for us to maybe on another thing come back with some information, some interesting. At Gilda's, try to find somebody where you can. Get them to give some feedback. How can this be done? When you say they give cooking classes, that might be one of the challenges. I think it's very useful because, as I said, there's high incidence of a particular types of cancer in the black community and in certain sub-segments of the black community. You know, where the incidences are so high. We want to be around for a while. We want to enjoy the privileges that are available to us. We want to be able to enjoy the African American library, the museum. We want to find out information. We want to encourage ourselves, you know, with a bit of history, and to be around to really enjoy it, and not because your mama had it, you've got to have it too. It's type of thing that we want to shift, you see. And then, you know, what do you think it would take to change the mindset? Because all that you're talking about, even the information, is about mindset change.
Well, like I said earlier, I've been battling for years, and I had lost quite a bit of weight last year, and it was prayer and determination.
Say that again.
Prayer.
Did you say prayer?
And determination.
All right.
And once I started working, my hours changed, and I was used to going in the morning time. And it's a poor excuse because I was tired when I got off being a home health aide, and I didn't feel like going back to the gym. But the gym is free. Your county parks, some of the county parks have free workout facilities such as Delaware Park, located on 6th Trunk, right across the street from the African American Library. They have a very nice workout today, the African American Library. I love that place. It is so nice. The people are so helpful and so informative. It's the information that I needed to do in order to try to get my little ministry off as far as making the information pack.
Now, what are the programs that are there that they have for this month? I noticed that the exhibit is not open right now.
It's not open right now. The only thing is that I'm really concerned about right now is they just had a contest. Students from grades 4th through 12th grade. And if the students win, because they had different groups, they could win a laptop or a digital camera or an MP3 player. And I was so excited. I made in my pack, I got that information, and I just went out. I called parents, family members, friends, and then I contacted some of the churches. And
what is the contest about?
The contest is students had to write about the walk to Washington.
Ah, okay.
And they had to know who took place, and they also had to write about if we were to march today, what would we be marching for?
You know, that is so interesting, because I was saying recently that we do not boycott anything anymore. There is no weight or no power really behind the community when you don't stand for anything, when you don't resist the things that you know are not right. And it's a very legitimate question, because it's something that I watch all the time. The whole sense of community was in the fact that people would get together around a common cause. It doesn't, I mean, and we know that it can be done peacefully, but we would gather around a common cause. That's what community is all about.
Exactly.
You know, a common cause, and so that should tap the minds of the youth.
I hope
it
so.
Really should.
I had some youth that were really challenged, and they said, "Miss Wanda, it's mine. I'm going to win." I said, "You go for it. You go for it."
And the next one that came around, that you told that one the same thing.
Of
you
course,
go for it. So we have a whole lot of winners. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. That's what you're there for, not to pick a winner, but to motivate and to be an encourager.
Exactly, because we have some very talented kids, but some of them are just not challenged enough.
Yes.
And parents,
they don't know their potential.
Exactly. As parents, you have to stand behind them and give them a little push. Don't say, "Do you want to participate in this contest?" Tell them you are going to participate in this contest.
Or at least what I think you should. I think you should want to.
Exactly.
You know, a little
especially if you're going off to school and you're going to need a computer. This could save mom and dad hundreds of dollars.
Or you just not having a computer at all and being relegated to always have to go to the African American Library to get your homework done and to get your research done.
Exactly.
You know, so we need to really push. Yeah, on a couple of days ago, I was at the library for another meeting, and the meeting was about gathering the children together, encouraging them to write to this writers club, and I am going to have C.J. Love in studio to talk a lot about that, because I think it's really an excellent initiative. But there's a group that would meet once a month there, and the idea was it's not a rigid group. In the sense that it can address any topics that people identified as a need. And so one of the needs was for information. And so if there was any question at all as to whether or not what you're doing is really, really needed, it was mentioned in there, just having knowing what resources are available, knowing how to access them, knowing how to really make good use of them, and to make them work for us as a people in the community. This is Views and Expectations, and we'll be right back.
Bless RHR TV. Bless RHR TV. bless RHR TV, Jah, and guide them every day. Bless our TV. Yeah, man, more life, more blessing, more prosperity. It's Phil Watkins representing for RHR TV.
Boy, Rasta, we are tell you twin of twins that represent for real hard roots. We are tell you, Rasta. Yes, the foundation. The root of it is always the truth of it. And some people see education and don't know the use of it. Yeah, we are tell you get that something there. But you don't know real hard roots. Success coming like HIV. You have to live with it till you're dead. We are tell you. Yeah, man, we make them know. Say, it's the real hard roots and the real hard truth. And you see anybody when I like that. So sick.
We're back. We're back, and we might as well be at the African American Library. Oh, now I wonder. I know that what you're doing now, I mean, is really a useful service. You know, and I just want to encourage you to continue to suggest. Okay. To the workers at the library, the services, and I mean the libraries where you're connected, when you have a suggestion, because the only foolish idea is the one that is not shared. That's true. You know, because I can see the impact of it. I mean, within the span of less than 48 hours, I saw the manifestation of what you're doing. You know, of the excellent outworking of what you're doing with information. And I was just so excited. I said, my gosh, I can tell people that there is a woman who is doing that. So instead of reinventing the wheel, just invite Wanda to the meeting and she will share what she's already doing. You know, one of the areas, and I don't know if this is on your wish list for the future. But one of the problems we have, and I'm particularly concerned, especially when it's male, that a lot of African American men that cannot read at grade level, no grade level at all, just that have difficulty reading, and many that read, they are not literate readers because we read so that we can understand. And so there's reading with understanding.
Exactly.
Beyond a certain level.
Well, when you cannot read, you'll be amazed as to how the system can take advantage of you.
Correct.
I encourage friends of mine to go to another friend of mine. She's a tutor, and she's a Broward County employee, and she teaches reading at the African American Library. Miss Reynolds comes in the evening time, and she has a program for adults when they only have to meet 1 hour a week. The cost is, I believe it's $20, and she gives them a book, and she's very patient, she's very kind, and I highly recommend her. But she also tutors the kids. Then there is a small fee for land, but I encourage each and every individual, if you cannot read, there is help out there.
Yes.
And if you seek it, some of the services are free. They're there. I know there used to be, I haven't been out there in a while, there used to be a program at the Lauderdale Mall off of 441 in Fort Lauderdale.
Right. You know, and this is one of the things. I had to deal with someone once who needed a lot of help because she was underexposed to education because she was dyslexic. And in the day, it wasn't really identified as really, you know, like now they know about dyslexia, whether it's with numbers or letters. And sometimes it can be corrected by glasses, in other cases it's different. And I told her, I said, the first thing that you have to do is to just get rid of the pride. And, you know, she happened to be, you know, a Christian, and I said, stand up in church and just tell them you cannot read. Just confess there. And then undertake from that point on to participate every time there was an opportunity to read in adult classes in Sunday school and whatever. And let all of you just suffer and go through together with that process. And today she has 2 Bible school certificates. She began to drive at the age of 45 or 50. She's now 64 4. So much of her life, but she had developed other skills by which to survive.
Exactly.
Excellent skills by which to survive. But the part of it that I want to share really is that the family has to get involved. If you're having a tutor once a week, the family has to participate. The family has to be there and be as patient as Mrs. Reynolds is with the family member, because that particular individual went on to do fashion design, is a high fashion designer, but what it took, and she can deal with numbers. You can't deal with her with numbers, but the writing, the reading, listening, and taking notes because of the problem. But her sister, who had already gone through design school, went and sat in class with her and took the notes for her. And so that was a family sacrifice. I'm talking about community. I am talking about the fact, Wanda, that you sacrifice time. You could be sitting down at home and put your feet up and read a good book. You love to read.
I love to read. I love to read. That's one of my main hobbies. I enjoy reading, but unfortunately now I don't have enough time to read. But it does take a sacrifice. And it does take determination. It does take that within you, that need, that desire to want to learn more, because it could open up a whole new world for you, having the ability to read. And we need those skills in our classrooms with our kids, and I wish more of our seniors get active in the school system. Go in and read it to the little ones. They love it. They love it. I used to be a daycare teacher in the Atlanta, Georgia area when I was there, and parents were amazed that their little ones, the little toddlers, were learning, and they would come home and repeat what they had learned, and they would start telling. I said, you know, I would tell the parents, your son loves to be read to, and they would be, really? I said, yes, he does.
Because they never even tried it.
Exactly.
Just reading to them when they put them to bed.
Exactly. Yeah. We had a little area, and we always made it low enough so that they can reach. They would go to that area where the books were, and they would choose their favorite books.
Right.
They learned what books they really loved to hear read to them, and they would choose that book and bring it to me, and I miss them so much. But that's where it starts.
Yes. Okay. On that note, we go to a short station break, and we'll be right back. We're about to wrap up our programming, and so we're going to go to a short station break and come right back at you with some information from Wanda.
I'm crying for the people. Red Rat is crying for the people. Can someone give me a reason why this world is full of so much evil? Boom, well, this is Red Rat. Keep it locked. Read hard roots. Bada boom.
RHR, stay tuned. RHR, don't go nowhere. Sac passé, c'est the kid Cool J. Now boule, can be fait m'palagé. Peace.
All right, so this is the wrap-up of our program, and Wanda, why not share? You have a number that, see, Wanda wants to be found, so she's going to share a number with you that you can get in touch with her if there's any additional information you want to find out about some of the things that she's been sharing.
Yes, I make packs, and because it's just me, a lot of the churches come by with an appointment to pick up their packs, and my number is 954-667-4649. That is my cell number. Please, if you would like one of those packs, feel free to give me a call.
All right, so that they can call. Just share the number again.
954-667-4649.
All right, so you heard that. And I just want to thank you, Wanda, that you are taking this time, or to say making this sacrifice, so that the information that you know is available, that you're making available to our community. People, we can only change according to what we know is available to help to make that change possible. This is Black History Month. We just don't want to be celebrating on the surface. We don't want to be celebrating in a superficial way. We want to understand the things that are available to us. We want to be changed. We want our mindsets to change. We certainly want to elevate the way we think about the things in life, the things that affect us, and we don't want to be just see ourselves as being affected by things, but also as being ones who affect things and impact them. And Wanda, I say to you today, you certainly impacted me when I met you, and I know that you're impacting a lot of lives. To think that churches come to you for their packages. You see, they know it's available, and they know how useful it is, because, you know, many of us are in church happy and singing glory to God, and slowly dying and not living our best life now because of the information that we are lacking. And so, help your sisters out, help your brothers out that you've been doing, and you know you have really made the village really small. You have really shrunk the village by what you're doing, and so I want to thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
Thank you for being in studio with me. This is Views and Xpectations, and that is all for tonight. We'll see you next week, same place, same time.